to Nottingham for WCPW is imminent on Brian. There's 5 of us squeezed into a car. It's not glamorous. It's not. First up, we had the contract signing between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss for their women's Smackdown Championship match this week, this Sunday at TLC. Who would have thought? It's already the go-home show. There is no respite from these motherfucking pay-per-views. The whole segment was a bit juvenile. It felt like a bit of a Rollins or a Cena segment with loads of jokes being cracked about the other person's, well, in Becky's case, her nationality, her Irishness, Alexa Bliss's youthful appearance. I know how that feels. But they had a nice brawl to end things, and in the end, Becky was put through a table, and now their match, I believe, is going to be a tables match. So it's an up, and I forgot to give an upper down there. It's an up. Next, we had a tag match between Miz, Corbin, Kalisto and Ziggler, for no other reason really than because babyfaces are best friends with babyfaces and heels are best friends with heels. I don't really like that because Miz is very sort of selfish and he only aligns with his wife, and Baron is potentially the most selfish man on the roster. He's like a heel Roman Reigns. They should be a tag team, but regardless of that, it was an okay match. I would normally give this a down because it seemed like nothing but filler, but because this was a go-home show, it did serve a purpose. It built up 2 separate matches for TLC, so it just about scrapes it up. Next up, myself and Kenny McIntosh have disagreed furiously in the past over who the best women's heel is on SmackDown. I say it's Alexa Bliss, he says it's Carmella, and for the first time this week I'm inclined to agree with Kenny. I think Carmella cut the most savage heel promo of her career. This segment, I mean, Carmella's not the strongest promo, I say, as I flub my lines, but she did deliver 3 wicked insults. This segment has to get up. First, she said, "I apologise to John Cena for if you're watching for what I'm about to do to Nikki," which is great. She said she's gonna. She said she's gonna pop her Bella twins, her fake breasts, and finally she said she'll beat her so hard or so bad that Nikki won't even be thinking about wanting to get married. So that was brutal. And then Nikki ran out and they had a bit of a scuffle. Carmella bailed to the outside, and it sets up a very intense match, and it really justifies that no DQ stipulation as well. So that's definitely enough. It's 3-0. Next up, the Ambrose Asylum segment, where Dean's guest was none other than everyone's favourite jobber, James Ellsworth. Now, I wasn't too happy with Ellsworth last week. I thought that was the week where it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I wasn't too happy about Styles being not made to look weak because Ambrose interfered, but losing 3 times to James Ellsworth. It wasn't a good look. Thankfully, AJ came out and basically tore both of them apart. He hit a wicked Styles clash on Ellsworth from the steps to the floor. Ellsworth remembered not to tug his chin this time because he might have died. He may have died if he did. It would have been horrendous. But thankfully, he was okay. And then at the end of the show, in a segment that wasn't really big enough to deserve its own up or its own down, Ambrose jumped Styles as revenge for what he did to his friend. So this whole thing gets an up, and it has the potential to be a really, really fantastic match on Sunday. And I really want Ellsworth to turn heel. I've been calling it. Really want it to happen. Turn heel, Ellsworth, turn heel. Next, we had another match between Kane and Luke Harper, not Baron Corbin. As I said last week, I mixed up Luke Harper and Baron Corbin. I'm sorry. I know the difference. I know that Luke's like, an indie wrestler. He used to wrestle in Chikara. I know Baron's been very much handpicked and brought up to the WWE developmental system. I know that Luke Harper, for example, is like a good wrestler and Baron's a bad. No, Baron's alright. Baron's alright. Anyway, this match was, I said Luke was good, but this feud with Kane's not really doing anything for him, in my opinion, and I'm going to have to give this one a down. And finally, we had the main event, a tag match, the number 1 contenders match for the WWE Smackdown Championships. I need to get used to these belts. American Alpha versus Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, that new sort of makeshift team that survived at Survivor Series and the big climatic men's 5-on-5 men. You know the score, you know what's going on. American Alpha lost, which I'd normally be sad about. I'd be like, go on, push the young guys, but the current SmackDown Tag Champions are babyfaces in Heath Slater and Rhino. Orton and Wyatt are heels, that makes sense. And Orton and Wyatt have proved to be a far more interesting team than I think anyone could have thought. I remember a few weeks ago, I refused to give the Orton and Wyatt segments an up or a down because I said, I don't know how it's going to go. I thought it was going to be bad. It's actually turned out to be pretty good. This segment gets an up. Correct decision, booking-wise, and a great match as well. And a great RKO out of the Grand Amplitude. So, great stuff. Looking forward to that match as well. TLC has the potential to be a very, very good show. I said the last point was the final one. I've got one more point, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to enforce it down, even though it wasn't technically something that happened on the show. There were only 3 matches. I know it's a go-home show for a pay-per-view, and I know that SmackDown's only 2 hours long, but you really want more than 2 matches on a 2-hour-long show. This isn't Impact. I rip on Impact a lot, and it's begun to seep into these videos as well. I need you calm down. But basically, a bit more wrestling, please. A bit more wrestling. So thanks very much for watching. I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack_the_jobber. Sorry if this felt a bit rushed. I'm literally just about to go annoying him now. One more thing to close the show and a little thought to end on. Why didn't no one stay for the Cruiserweight Classic? The crowd was noticeably more empty for not for Cruiserweight Classic. 205 Live. I'll see you soon.
This Wednesday, live on pay-per-view, Delete WCW. The grandson of Cody Rhodes challenges the Mexican sensation El Ligero, the WCW Internet Championship. Shocking CT London, Kirby, Ospreay, Reed, Alberto El Patron versus the debut of John Cena. Logan Matt Hardy finally arrives in WCW, and he will face none other than Bullet Ray. The final of the Adam Genie Tag Title Tournament. Austin Slater versus the Commies to become the first ever WCW Tag Team Champions. Righteous Killer Joseph Connors defends his WCW Championship against the local hero Joe Henry and Drew Galloway inside a steel cage. This Wednesday, 7:30, 2:30 Eastern, on my pay-per-view.